Welcome. Long time no see. It's time for questions and answers and rambles. It is really nice to be back and also strange because it's been so long. So many things have happened, good and bad, lots to ramble about, but instead of breaking it down right now, I have a feeling I'm going to start rambling about what's been going on over the past little while, just through the questions. I'm sure something will trigger me to remember something that I want to share with you guys and gals and theys and just all you humans. So let me pull up the questions and get into it. Hold on. I'm going to turn up the volume a little bit. So if this is quiet and you've turned up the volume, you might need to turn it down because I'm going to turn it up on my end. Okay, I've pulled up the questions and I've turned my microphone up and I can see that it is a lot louder. Hopefully this is okay for you guys. It's definitely going to pick up all the background noise now too, so you might hear Peter, you might hear cars. I hope that's okay. So we've got a lot of questions here. Let's see where we're gonna start. Oh, did I reply to this one? Oh, someone asked for the lyrics for the song Flying Out the Window. So the lyrics are posted in the community page. Hope he doesn't ask some stupid question. I have a few. You can answer any of them if you like, or you could choose to answer none. The first question from Strange Wayfaring Stranger is, what sort of things interest you? Do you have an interest in ghosts, the supernatural? Do you believe in life after death? Do you believe that we have a soul? Art interests me. Anything that inspires me to create interests me. I love colors. I love space. I love psychology. I love physics. I am afraid of ghosts and the supernatural. Like, if I let my mind go too deep into that, my anxiety, no. Like, I need to just kind of stay away. But I believe, I'm a believer. Do you believe in life after death? I believe in existence after death. I don't know about life, though. Do I believe we have a soul? I feel like the word soul is like the word love, in that we use it, but we all have a different understanding and agreement as to what it means. So for me, like, my spirit is my soul, and I believe we all have a spirit, if that makes sense. Number 2, what music do you love besides the obvious covers you did? Honestly, actually, some of the covers that I did were not songs that I would usually listen to. They were requests, and they were songs that I learned to love, or I fell in love with as I was singing them. Oftentimes the songs that are requested for covers are not songs that I would really listen to, but I pretty much love all music. My go-to as of late is anything. I love a lot of instrumentals or things without words because I need to just give my brain a break. And I've been having a lot of anxiety lately, to the point where I can't even drive my car because I've been having panic attacks. I don't think I've ever had a panic attack if what I'm having now in my car is a panic attack. The weirdest thing happened for me. It's not the weirdest thing. So many weird things happen. I'm so extreme. But I was driving and I started to get like tunnel vision, and my hearing was going in and out, and my vision was getting weird, and I thought I was gonna pass out. Like, I felt like I was leaving my body, and it's happening now every time I get in my car, and there's no reason for it. So I'm gonna get my ears checked out and my eyes and make sure it's not an equilibrium thing, but pretty sure it's anxiety. So that's why I'm kind of more what's the word I'm more attracted to, just more soothing, calm, like healing meditative type music right now. But when I'm well, I love it all. I love reggae, soft rock, I love pop, I love electronic. I love electronic rock. I love all these types of music that I'm like finding for the first time. Like, what is bed pop? Someone told me about bed pop recently, and like, or bedroom pop. And what I found was amazing. Like, such a vibe. I love finding new music. I love music so much. What sort of things move you to tears? Right now, like anything, everything. I'm so tearful lately. Like, ugh. But good news, happy things. When I see people caring about each other, when I see videos of like strangers doing kind things for other strangers, and when I see community, and when I see elders listening to the wisdom of youth, and youth listening and respecting the wisdom of elders, and those kinds of connections, that makes me tear up. I am very, very sensitive, so it doesn't take much to make me cry. Since you work at Psych2Go, do you deal with any of the issues they talk about? Yes, many. I would understand if you didn't answer this one. Oh, well, there you go. Last but not least, what kind of dog is Peter? How old is he? And how did you come to get him? And this is a cute story. So I don't know what kind of dog Peter is. He's got really little legs. I think he might have like a form of dwarfism. He kind of looks like a collie mixed with, I don't know. I really don't know. He's a rescue. When I was working with the youth, I took one of the girls to the SPCA to visit the animals. We were just going to pick an animal and take them for a walk and have some time with the creatures. And my dog Peekaboo had just passed away suddenly. We had to put him down suddenly because he had cancer and we had no idea. And he wasn't eating. We took him in and they were like, he has a huge tumor and you need to put him down within a few days. It was devastating. I'd had him for like 15 years. So it was really hard. But when we got to the vet, or not the vet, to the SPCA, we walked in and there was this awkward little creature sitting there with his big mouth and his tongue sticking out, just wagging his tail, and his feet were so big but his legs were so small, and it just had to be him that we took for a walk. And he was also kind of familiar. I had been online looking for dogs available for rescue, and I know I must have seen him. He was just so familiar. At the time his name was Pancakes, and he had this thing called cherry eye in one of his eyes. He had a hernia and he needed all this surgery, and he also was terrified and traumatized by men. So after the walk, I was so in love with him, and they were like, you guys got along really well. Would you be interested in fostering him while he goes through his surgeries? And I was kind of on the fence. It was this weird place I was in. I was so heartbroken. It hadn't been long since Peekaboo had passed, and he was my like emotional support creature. He was my best friend. He was my comfort. He was my everything. I was like, do I really want to take on another dog just yet? This was the first time in my like adult life where I had nothing relying on me for survival. You know, I mean, that's not entirely true with the line of work that I was in, but it was just my first time without any pets. However, Pancakes was just so charming, and I agreed. So I cared for him while he had his surgeries, and they told me I think this came after. So after caring for him, I was like, I have to keep him. I'm in love with him. And they let me know about all of his issues and how if I planned to have any men around, I couldn't take Peter. He was best suited with someone who was single and wanted to stay that way. But I had faith that with love and care and patience, anything was possible, and I felt like I could love him back into shape. I have a father, and I have a brother, and I have male friends, and I was confident that eventually he would be able to get along with them. And I was right. I was so right. He loves my dad. He loves my brother. He loves my friends. I went to a wardrobe fitting the other day, and I was away for a while. So I left him with my dad, And when I got back to my dad's house, there's my dad and two of his neighbors, and they're all sitting outside, and there's Peter in the center, off leash, just kicking it with them. And I was so proud. Like, it made my heart smile. I'm pretty sure I probably shed a tear because he's just come full circle. All right, next up, Varun asks if it's okay if we ask 4 questions. Yes, it's all right. So number 1, what is my favorite food? I don't have favorites. I don't know. Are you like this? Is anyone else like this? Like, I don't think it's a fear of commitment. I just change so substantially from one day to the next, from 1 hour to the next, from 1 week, month, year. I love so many foods. I love food. I love flavors. I feel like if I pick a favorite, that's saying that in some alternate dimension or alternate reality, that's the only food I'm allowed to have. And I'm like, no, I can't pick. So, sorry, that's my answer. Number 2, what were your favorite subjects in school? I loved English because I love to write and I love to read. And I loved Spanish. I love the way Spanish feels, like tastes, like how it just feels in my mouth. And it came pretty naturally to me. However, so my daycare lady actually, from when I was a little baby, she spoke to me in Spanish. And when I was younger, I understood it pretty well, and I could also speak pretty well. It's all gone now. You use it or lose it, I swear. I would like to get it back though. What are your favorite genres of books? I like nonfiction. I like to read about authors. And I don't know how to say his name properly, but Paulo, is it Coelho or? I'm a bit dyslexic and I always put the H in the wrong place. And I don't have the book in front of me, or any of his books in front of me, so I'm not, but he wrote The Alchemist. He wrote a lot of really, really cool books. I hope that answers your question. I do enjoy escapism type novels here or there, but for the most part I like reading about writers. And number 4, when is your birthday? My birthday is January 12th. Okay, those are those questions. Next, from friends, question number 1, how are you? I'm pretty okay. How do you keep yourself motivated these days? I've been struggling. I've been having a really hard time. That's why I haven't seen you in so long. It's been hard. For me, I have to have goals to be working towards. And once I've completed the goals, if I don't have new ones ready to work towards, I lose my motivation pretty quickly. So I guess how to regain that motivation is by creating a new goal. Always having something to work towards. And number 3 is, did you learn singing or is it just natural to you? I guess it's natural. My youngest childhood singing memory isn't even really singing. I remember sitting in the back seat of the car and Carlos Santana was playing, and I was mimicking the sound of his guitar with my voice. Very well. In my mind, it was really well. I have no idea if it was good or not. But I remember feeling like my voice can do things. Like, it's very malleable. It's like a tool. It's like an instrument. And it felt so good. Like, as I got older and as I would mimic singers that I enjoyed or sounds that I enjoyed, when I did it right, there was this connection, this feeling that just gave me shivers. Not shivers, tingles? I can't explain it. It just felt really nice. It made me want to cry. It made me feel like I'd stepped into magic. Next up, Carl loves adventure. I just listened to your random thought videos. I'm just curious, how often do you journal? Oh, I keep opening them and then it hides all the other ones. Uh-oh, Carl, I lost you. Here you are. How often do you journal? How do you deal with social anxiety? Thanks a bunch. I haven't been journaling much at all lately. like, at all. I know that I'm better off when I do. I was journaling every day for quite a while. I'm still gathering bits and thoughts and visuals for the movie one day. I'm gonna need some help. It's way too much work. I've accepted that it's too much work to do on my own. So one day when I have the funds or the support that I need to create the movie, then I'll create the movie. But yeah, the journaling kind of fell off. I go through phases of journaling quite a bit and then not journaling at all. How do you deal with social anxiety? So back to the panic attacks in the car thing. Now that I've experienced these kind of like episodes, I'm like, I'm not even sure. I don't even know if, like I said, if I've ever even had a panic attack before, because I'd never experienced something like this. Maybe it'll come out to be that it is an equilibrium thing and my body was just kind of, my mind was panicking because something was just wonky. But the most frustrating thing is when your mind does something. Your mind is trying to protect you, or it's sending these like weird synapses or synapses, however you pronounce it, and you're having physical reactions to the point where you might pass out and you can't tell it to stop. That's not cool, brain. That's not cool at all. And now that I've experienced that, I don't really know what kind of advice I can give other than talk to your doctor. I'm going to go see my doctor tomorrow. If there is medication that she recommends to help deal with the anxiety, I'm open to that, because sometimes that's what it takes. I tried deep breathing. I tried being mindful and mindful meditations and all of that, but it's not working. So sometimes you need a little help, and that's okay. However, if it's not to that extreme and it's just a little bit uncomfortable, then I would I would look around and kind of feel out the environment and try to find safe spaces where you can breathe, whether it's in the bathroom where you can just take a moment to look yourself in the eyes, take some deep breaths, have a sip of a beverage, just kind of regroup and then get back out there. Or maybe it's going outside to, play a game on your phone. It's okay to get out and get away for a little bit if that's what you need. Next up, it says, hello, congrats again on your album. Do you have any future projects that you can already talk about, or ideas about future projects? Love you too. Well, the album isn't out yet, so the album is complete, but it isn't out yet. And right now we're filming music videos and we're creating promotional material and figuring out the whole release process and the whole game plan as to how we want to put it out to make sure as many people as possible can hear it and enjoy it. We're putting our website together. We've got merch. We have a lot of work to do. So much. So that's the Real Palace project. I'm also working with a producer named Otitis and a guitar player named Kenji. And the three of us are tentatively going by the name Oak or Oaks. Not quite sure yet. And then Otitis and I as a duo are going by, I still don't know how to pronounce it. It's YOSLU. It stands for you or something like you. So Yoslu, I don't know. But and then I have the other group called Normal Machine. There's lots of music already available. We have released our first album there. So there's lots of different styles of music, and lots of music to anticipate and hopefully look forward to. The next question is, hi, well, people kinda, me included, judge people on the outside, like beauty, social status, etc. You're a really pretty lady with an even prettier voice. Thank you. What, if any, would you like people to know as they try to judge you by your appearance, and what would you change about yourself if you had the chance to? I don't know. I think the only thing I would change about myself is just having a bit more control over my mind. Sometimes anxiety and depression can be just like brutal. So I would love to know what it's like to live a life without those things. And I'm working on it. I think that it is possible. I am hopeful to have a more consistently tolerable existence. As far as what I want other people to know, I want people to know they can trust that I'm real and I'm honest, and that if they feel love from me, it's because I have love for them and I'm sending love, and that even if you think I'm pretty, I don't see that when I look in the mirror most days. I'm very insecure. But at the end of the day, that doesn't really matter too much to me, because looks are gonna go. Looks don't last forever. It's as cliche as it sounds, it's what's on the inside that counts. So if they want to judge me, then I would hope that they would at least take the time to see what's beneath the skin. Okay, up next. Do you have multiple song playlists for different occasions? And if so, no, I don't. I don't. I have such vast playlists of just collections of songs that I was enjoying when I heard them, or yeah. And so I just like hold my phone and say, "Hey Siri, play all music," and it's like whatever plays is what's gonna set my vibe for the day, and usually, or for the moment, and usually it like magically works. Every time I do that, it's like it creates the vibe and it sets the mood for the occasion. But if you like my music and you want to use it to set your vibe for the day or for the night or for whenever, just search my name, Amanda Silvera, wherever you get your music, and there is quite a bit available already. And also, there's a lot available for normal machine, if you pull that up. Very, very different vibes, though. Okay, what do we have next? Okay, so this one says, "Hello, Amanda. Hope you're having an awesome day." Thank you. I hope you are too. Here is my question. As an HSP, how are you able to find your mental peace and calm in situations that freak you out? I'm asking it because I'm in my exam period, and it's frustrating and mentally exhausting, the fact that I'm unable to find my mental peace and calm. I feel you. I do. It says, "Hope you can bring some light to it. Thanks. Your beautiful voice helps me a lot during the complicated times as well as the good times. Thank you so much for just being yourself all of the time. Love from Spain." Yeah, it's hard. Mindful meditations, deep breathing, allowing yourself breaks, like scheduling time to just go for a walk or sit down and sip some tea, just pushing through, like when you just go and you're trying to ignore the anxiety, I think it makes it worse. So I think one thing I would recommend is scheduling time and committing to taking little breaks to just recombobulate yourself, put yourself back together, and then dive back in with a fresh perspective, or just refreshed in general. Or listen to some random rambles. Come over to my channel, and I got you over here as best I can. This question says, if you could choose one place in the world, anywhere at all, to go to for as long as you'd like, where would it be and why? The first place that comes to mind is Madagascar. They're not doing so great right now. They need love and support. They need help. But before my uncle passed, we used to daydream about running away there and building like a wooden hut and just living off the land and making friends with all the animals. And yeah, but I'd also really love to know what Greece is like. And well, realistically, I want to go everywhere. I want to know this planet. I want to know my planet. The whole planet, like, it's ours. This is our home. I feel like if we can, we should see as much of it as possible. Every time I travel, I see something that my brain couldn't have even made up for itself. Like, I had to see it. I had to taste it. I had to smell it in order for my brain to accept it as a thing that even exists. And then you grow in the coolest way. It's just like, it's this expansion, and it's like you level up. You become like the next version of yourself every time you travel, and bond with new cultures and learn and taste. And so, I want to travel so badly. So this question says, I always get awkward when you guys tell me I'm pretty, but you're an amazingly attractive woman. Thank you. Very beautiful. Thank you. I've always wondered what your race / ethnicity is. And then two more responses. This was going to be my question also, and then someone else said, and many others, lol. So my parents are both Jamaican, born and raised in Jamaica. I'm first generation Canadian. My mother is mixed, black and white, and my father is also mixed, but it's less clear. His mom was adopted, so we're not sure. And then on his father, and it's so weird when I ask my parents about their background and about their great-grandparents or even their grandparents, they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, but don't you care? But it wasn't really a thing, I guess, for them back then. It's very strange to me anyways. But yeah, so on my dad's side, his father was Spanish Portuguese, and yeah, so just a nice little mix of a few things. So Lion Hyena Fox asks, oh my gosh, I posted this thing asking you guys to give me questions 2 weeks ago. I can't believe that much time has flown by. But 2 weeks ago, Lion Hyena Fox asked, why do I do what I do as a beautiful voice for Psych2Go? Originally I was just looking for extra work, and it almost seemed like too good to be true. I love psychology, I always have. I've always felt better when I can help people or feel like I'm of service. It just makes me feel, it gives me purpose. I love to talk. Sometimes I don't want to talk at all. But I know how to record audio from my music background, so it was something that I could do anywhere. I could just set up from home or take my gear and set up anywhere that was quiet, and I could just do it. And it helps people, and I learn, and I love psychology. So it ticks off a bunch of boxes for me. Yeah, I do it because I love it, and because it helps me and it helps others. Nancy was asking, she says, I wonder if you cringe when you hear your own voice like everyone else, or do you listen to your own voice and hear how soothing and pretty it is? I can't stand to listen to myself, she says. I cringe. I can't watch, like, I have to turn the volume down for the Psych2Go videos to just like enjoy the amazing animation, and sometimes like I will keep the volume at the regular level just to make sure everything sounds okay for you guys. But it's really hard because every single voiceover that I do has a little bit of my energy in it from that day, and sometimes I'm a little low, sometimes I'm really happy, sometimes I'm very, very depressed, but I gotta work. And I can hear that energy when I listen back to the voiceovers. I can feel it and I can hear it, and if I hear that there's anything a little bit off, I pray that energy doesn't rub off on whoever's listening. I'm hoping that the love bypasses that, and because there's always love, there's always compassion and empathy in being sent to you guys when I record these things. So just because I'm so sensitive, I can feel and hear everything in the recordings, and I'm like, oh, I hope that it's well received regardless. But yeah, at the same time, there's just the way I say certain things and sometimes mouth sounds. I'm just like, ugh. Claudia R asks, she says, am I too late? No, you're not. Not at all. What is one of the kindest things a random stranger has done for you? The most, hold on, I wonder if this is ASMR. I'm opening fizzy water. Is that good? Oh God. I don't think I'm ever gonna do ASMR, you guys. Alright, so I think where my train of thought was going when I read this question was, ever since I started creating on YouTube and just on the internet, that's what's opened me up to so many strangers and so much kindness. The love and the kind words and taking time to hear me vent and ramble, that the heartfelt emails and messages, the fan mail, like, it makes me want to cry. Like, I couldn't pick one. Outside of internet relationships, the kindest thing a stranger has done for me. I have had a couple, when I came back from LA, oh gosh, after that whole adventure, if any of you know what I'm talking about from the Random Rambles, the like almost kidnapping experience and being presented with this contract and coming back to Canada to wait for the contract to be edited so that I could sign it and then go back to LA and live my dreams. And then it just never happened and they disappeared and I had to make new dreams. Well, I didn't want to come back. And when I did come back, I was kind of going through it. I was like, what is happening? I hate not knowing what's happening. I hate sitting in limbo, having like my whole life, who wouldn't hate it? Having like my whole life dependent on someone just changing some words on a contract and sending it to me. And time is ticking and nothing is coming. Ugh, it sucked. So I went to get a coffee. In Canada, one of our most popular coffee shops is called Tim Hortons. And I would go to Tim Hortons like every day just as something to do as I waited. And I was having a rough day. I went to get my coffee, maybe some food, I don't know. But when I pulled up, they were like, your order is paid for. And I bawled my eyes out. Do that for someone. I've now done it for a few people and it feels really good. It feels good both ways, to receive it and to do it. I highly recommend. David G asks, what makes you laugh so hard that you pee? Pretty much anything that would make like a 5-year-old boy laugh is what really gets me going. Like, so stupid. Like, anything poop related, really. I don't know. Or if you're laughing and you can't stop laughing, then it'll get me going and we'll both be hyperventilating together. Mac was asking someone below, which is actually for me above, but that doesn't matter. I didn't even need to say that. Rambles. Someone below asked me if you are interested in the paranormal. I'm curious as well, and if you're into true crime documentaries or podcasts. So I actually haven't really gotten into podcasts. I want to, I think, but if I really wanted to, wouldn't I already be into them? I don't know. Sometimes I just don't want to hear talking. I really appreciate silence lately. I talk so much as I record myself that when I'm done, I'm like, no more words, please, you know? But that's totally off track. I am interested in the paranormal, like for the paranormal in its literal sense, very much so. And I do enjoy a true crime documentary. It's a guilty pleasure. I cannot stop once I start. I binge the entire series from beginning to end, so I try to avoid them because ain't nobody got time for that. So yeah. This next question, how long do you meditate? Do you also do yoga? Okay, we'll start there. So I'm not meditating very much lately. It's actually become a necessity that I have to meditate to just keep myself in some form of like calm, like to just, yeah, it's, the anxiety has been really bad lately, and it's forced me in a sense to just focus on my breathing and sit and be very mindful and kind of just flow with my thoughts to get a better understanding of what's going on inside. So I will do that for as long as I need to. Time kind of changes when you're meditating, so it could be really long and feel like it was just a minute, or it could be just a minute and feel like a very long time. So I'm not really sure. I usually do it before bed or like at nighttime, so it's not like I'm really on a clock where I need to stop at a certain time. And then yoga. I'm actually going to start yoga again. I haven't done it for a while, but I'm hoping to get back into it now that our yoga studio is open, and do it with my mama as a little mother-daughter experience. I do a very gentle form of yoga. It's for healing, it's for trauma and PTSD. So it's not too crazy, stretchy, bendy, but it is so powerful and so healing. And then they said, also, if you do meditate, what type of frequency of music do you listen to? Like the 432 hertz versus 528 hertz. What frequency do you use to meditate with? I hope you all have a great day and a great night. Nothing but love and positivity in your heart, mind, and soul. Thank you, triple XPS3. So I'm into all hertz, all the healing hertz. I actually wanted to call an album Healing Hertz, but spelled like hertz, like HERTZ. But it really depends what I'm feeling. Sometimes I will go for a specific hertz level or number, thinking that that's what I need, and it just doesn't feel right. So I don't even look at the numbers. I just kind of scroll through and see what hits, what feels right. And then it's always interesting to see what that number is and look into what it's hitting and which vibrations are doing what, and you know what I mean? That's a pretty abstract sentence to follow with, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I feel like you guys do know what I mean. I hope. Okay, next. Daniel asks a few questions. The first question is, what are you going to do in the next 10 years? So I have a new goal, especially after this whole journey, trying to find therapy and professional help for what I'm dealing with. When you don't have insurance, it's quite difficult to get the help. And honestly, it's just, in my mind, I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. So you have someone who is emotionally, physically in crisis, burnt out, at their wit's end, and they call for help or they ask their doctor for help, and they're given a bunch of numbers and email addresses, and they call the numbers and some people don't answer. They direct you here, and then you could try a Zoom groups. It's just not clear. It's not easy, and it should be so easy. When you're at that point, the help needs to be so easy, or you're just not going to go get it. You don't have any fight left in you. You don't have any energy left in you. You need help. So I want to find a way to make it easier. I don't know how yet, but mental health is so important. It needs to be maybe even a higher priority to physical health, in my opinion. It's all, I'm so passionate about it. So we'll see whether it's somehow providing financial aid to whoever needs it so that they can get professional help, or to work with governments so that what is available through your government or through whatever's available for free or for low income makes more sense. Because it's just a bit wonky right now, in my opinion, and I think we deserve better. But in 10 years, I would like to have established whatever this kind of baby vision is. I want it up and running, and I want to be expanding on it. I want to have my own fragrance line, or at least be starting it out. I want to do more with my voice, with voiceovers, and with my music, whether it be creating some kind of live experience that's never existed before, that is like this natural healing high experience for everyone, where you leave and you're just on cloud 9 and you get like a reset. It's all very kind of whimsical and foggy visions in my mind right now, but yeah. And I would like to be somewhere in nature. I'd like to have a few homes. I want one somewhere tucked away in nature, and then somewhere warm with tropical foods and plants, and yep. Number 2 is, can you make a dance cover video on any of your favorite song? Or if you can play guitar, please sing a song for us. A dance cover video. Oh, like a dance type music cover? Maybe. I need suggestions. So if you're this deep into this whatever this is video, and you have suggestions for me for like dance music, I guess let me know. That would be quite intense to recreate though. I don't know, no promises. I cannot play the guitar, but I know someone who can. I have 2 guitars and I just lay them on their back and kind of play them like pianos. I can make pretty sounds, but I have no idea how to actually play them properly. Vivek asks, what do I value most in life? I value peace, solitude, love, art, inspiration, creation, flowers, animals, community. I think that's it. Yeah. Lion Hyena Fox has another question. He says, or she or they say, what do you like and hate about your cute furry friend? I love everything about him, except for how sneaky he is. With those little legs, he somehow manages to get into the craziest places and steals my food and gets into things he should not get into. I've had to like childproof my home because he's had a grape, which could kill him. He's had chocolate, which could kill him, with absolutely no side effects other than hyperactivity. He was bouncing off the walls when he got into that chocolate, but lessons learned. I don't even ever have grapes in my house anymore because I'm just afraid that something might fall. Yeah, he's just so sneaky. And I used to also get frustrated with how he would be around men, but he has come so far. And also I never really felt any type of way about that because I know he's been through some trauma, and it makes sense that he was reacting that way. I don't know if this is dyslexia, but because I read that question, I'm reading this next one and it says, what's your favorite book? But I read, what's your dog's favorite book? And I was like, I don't know. I don't have favorites, as I said. There's this one book called This Timeless Moment, and that book was my best friend for a long time. I actually was gifted a new version of it, a hardcover version of it, because the one that I had was falling apart. I found it in the mailroom. Sometimes people leave books when they're done with them, and I saw this book and I took it home. I didn't really know what I was getting into, and it was so interesting. So the book that was falling apart, I used the pages to create this big art piece, which is in my bedroom. You can't tell that the pages are plastered all over it because I've painted over top of it. I didn't love how it looked, but the sentiment is still there. The book means a lot to me, but I still wouldn't say it's my favorite book. I don't have favorites. Judy says, hello, do you live with your parents, or are you just the only one with your dog who lives in your house? It's just me and Peter. It's just us. It's been that way for quite a while. Sometimes it can get pretty lonely, but we're working on getting out more now that it's safe. Phoenix asks an interesting one. They're all interesting questions, but this one is really making me think. They ask, when do you like yourself the most? I personally like myself the most when I'm in the studio with a producer that I really vibe with, and we support each other's ideas and creations, and we're just flowing, and I'm singing, and nothing matters. I'm not afraid of being judged. I'm safe, and it just feels so good. And I feel beautiful. I feel powerful when I'm in that space. So yeah, I guess that's my answer. Trenton asks, I know this question might be a little personal, but have you ever been cheated on, and how did you cope with that and move on? Yeah, I've been cheated on. I've been cheated on way too many times. What the heck? Like, I've been single for a long time, and it's partially because of that. I don't understand how I get I do understand. I had the worst taste in men. I just wanted to be loved. I was young, and I think that I might have been more of a prize than I knew. And so once they managed to bag me, they were like, oh, well, I just feel like it like leveled them up. It like made them feel like they could just take over the world and have whatever and whoever they wanted. And I don't know, that was one theory. That's a working theory. I don't know. But I have been cheated on, and it makes you feel so gross. It's like it shakes your entire reality. It's like, what is even real? Because you trust that person. You could never imagine that they would do something like that. If you're sitting around imagining that they'd do something like that, you wouldn't be with them, or you'd have a really messed up relationship. So I would go in never imagining such a thing could possibly happen. Excuse me, I need a sip. And then when it did, it would rock me, and it would take me. I think I'm still healing from those experiences. But I mean, it's better you find out than you never. How do I say this? I have strong intuition, and usually when I felt something was wrong, actually every time I felt something wrong, something was wrong. And I can't imagine being in a relationship for a long time and like finding out that was going on for a long time, and then having to heal and process. But at the end of the day, I think we just have to move on. And for the longest time, I've been afraid of ever being hurt like that again. It's comparable to death, to grieving a death of a loved one. It makes you afraid to try again. But you know that it's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. I was like debatable for a while. But I'm slowly, with time, starting to feel that is a true statement, and I'm open to trying again. I think that when you go through something like that, you need to really take some time to heal and love yourself and recognize that it is not your fault and that there's nothing wrong with you. It just wasn't the right match. And then work on becoming your favorite version of yourself, your favorite you. Just work on falling in love with you, so that you just straight up period will not put up with any disrespect. Because there's always little red flags that we ignore, and we keep ignoring them. But if you do the work to get yourself into a space where you just value your peace of mind and your well-being so much that there is no way you're going to ignore those red flags. Those red flags are going to be addressed. I don't know if that was advice or not, but it was definitely a ramble. Latin Cat asks, what is my zodiac sign? I am a Capricorn. For the life of me, I can never remember what all of like my rising, my this and my that. I don't remember. I don't know. I have to ask my friend Misha, because I think we're like identical. We have exactly the same everything. So I just hit her up and I'm like, hey, remind me again, what am I and what's happening to me right now? Because things are getting weird. Like, what retrograde is it and how does this affect us? So I believe in that stuff. I just cannot keep that information in my brain for the life of me. But then the response to that question was that they guess I'm an Aries because my name is Amanda. I don't know what Aries are like, but I have a feeling that they're nothing like Capricorn. So there you go. We're coming up to the last batch. Sam asks, cookie or cake? Oh God. It depends. It depends on which version of Amanda I am when I'm presented with these things. I love cheesecake, but it has to be the right. I've recently had some not good cheesecake. I didn't think that was possible, but I've had some like not great cheesecake, which leads me to want to say cookie, especially like the like gooey, freshly baked, but like still soft. Ugh. But it can't be I love, my friend Maxine makes the most beautiful cakes. I love the aesthetic of just looking at cakes. And at the end of the day, I'm not really much of a sweet tooth. Like, I'm more of a savory type of girl. But yeah, it depends. And then I have we've got a few how are yous. Are you okay? How are you? I am okay, to answer those 3 questions all at once. And do I have a boyfriend? I have lots of boys that are friends. I do not have a boyfriend. I am happily single. And Peter Peter is my favorite guy in the whole wide world right now, but he's more like a son, so yeah. I immediately feel awkward answering this question. I don't know why, but yeah, that's I think that is it for now. I just knocked the cable out of my microphone and suddenly there were weird buzzing sounds and no audio was being recorded, so I'm going to take that as my cue to wrap this up. This is a long one, but I felt like it was necessary. It's been a while, but I feel really good. How do you guys feel? Like, I really feel like I just got to hang out. I got to hang out with you. I would say let's do this again soon, but I don't know what soon means these days. Yeah, I've been going through it. I seem to kind of ride waves. So I have my ups and then I slowly start to come down and then I crash and then I rebuild. And I think I'm rebuilding once again and that's okay. And I'm here for it. I'm gonna try some different tactics this time on the rebuild and see if I can make that 10-year goal a reality and make some real dreams come true. But I will see you when I see you, and thank you so much for existing and being you, and thank you for finding me, and thank you for everything. And yeah, okay, I guess that's all.